Welcome back to Pro League, everybody. I'm trying to cover this up, Taylor. I'm trying to cover it up. Don't do this to me.
It's just you and technology, Colin. What's going on?
So I like to throw things. I like to throw things when I get mad.
So what happened? Let's talk about it. People were coming up with sandwiches and this and that. What happened?
So a sandwich has something to do with it. I finished my sandwich.
You did.
And I was so angry that I didn't have more sandwich that I just started ripping things out from the wall in front of me. Like, I was just, like, monitors were getting torn down. My desk was coming over at one point. I was so angry that it was the last bite of my sandwich that I couldn't deal with it.
Come on, man. You've ate enough today, all right? But that's
never enough.
Piece, man.
Chunky boy like me, never enough.
Well, let's get into it, man, because unfortunate that happened, Colin. But please make sure you just hold on a little bit longer, okay? We're almost done. Let's talk about, though, our Fury 1 and RushieZ key player matchup. We have two distinct players that are about to face off against each other. And, obviously I want to hone in a little bit on DeTox and Ventry because these two boys are really talented in their own way and they bring a lot of value to the rosters.
I don't want to say that I was asked who I thought should be the key player matchup for this game, but I was asked who should be the key player matchup for this game. And the reason I picked Ventry and DeTox is both of these guys have a very special role on their squad. They are the pivot point on a teeter-totter. If they are heating up, if they start getting kills, if they start adding damage numbers, if they start getting big shots, if they start actually adding effort to their squadron, they become damn near unbeatable. Both of these guys don't have the most impressive stats, but that's because they're that pivot point. If everybody else is banging out for their team and they're just getting kills across the board, no need. These guys can go out there, be middle of the road, kind of put in their work, do what they need to do to help solidify wins. But these two guys, the reason I want DeTox and Ventry to be highlighted in this matchup is, in my opinion, when these guys heat up for their teams, when they start to get red hot, when they're those front burner players, when you can start boiling water on them in a matter of moments, those guys change the entire face and genetic makeup of their squadron. That's why I love to point out DeTox for RushieZ, Ventry for Fury 1, because if they start to get it going, they are a freight train on some runaway tracks.
Well, we got to put the magnifying glass on him for sure then whenever we get into our maps. And DeTox, a guy that, it's interesting, when he joined the roster replacing Fran, all eyes were on him, but now he's kind of, tapered up, not tapered off in the way that his impact is 100% still there. But RushieZ, Avexys, and INZEM have just been so crazy in the lane department and miraculous plays that DeTox is still there, but it's like everybody else is just, I don't know, man. They're playing so incredibly well. Let's take a look at our maps, including our bans. And with bans there first, Spire out of the way, fair enough. RushieZ says we don't want it. Reactor, Fury 1 doesn't want the smoke either because RushieZ have been improving on Reactor so incredibly much. And check out, RushieZ has also been great there too. Fira, though, has kind of been a tough point for execution when it comes to RushieZ. I can understand why they wouldn't want to play that, and obviously Harbor. That's always the default ban. You don't want to play them on Harbor, so that leads us into the maps that we have for this series, Colin.
Regency and District for our controls, Clocktower for our execution, and I think Tomb is our other execution. I was going to say Vasgar. I couldn't get it out in time. Regency, District, Clocktower, Vasgar. Why would you play Canals? Oh, never mind. RushieZ picked it. RushieZ picked it. Oh my God. I was like, Fury 1.
Well, hey, can I? Did you watch E-Days?
I was there last week. I thought.
Did you cast with me?
I thought it was me. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you were there. You were there for finals.
I was losing.
Yo, I totally forgot about the tri-cast. Hey, that was awesome.
Best cast in the world.
Canals, Aimboot. We talked about him filling in for Pittsburgh Knights. And I also remember Avexys, I think I was casting with you, and Avexys came in chat and said, nobody is out sniping me on Canals. Do you remember that, Colin? I think you were there with it. Aimboot out-sniped Avexys. Outsniped them like badly on Canals execution. Now, granted, Vex is in chat, said I threw away, I gave a lot of freebies out there, and to his credit, he did. But Aimboot really did play very well. It was fun to see Aimboot and Avexys face off.
I look at that as if you were to put it in NFL football terms, that is like wide receiver cornerback syndrome, where you're like, yo, if you're a wide receiver, you're like, nobody can guard me. Now, every corner in the league is going to give you their best shot. If you're a DB and you're like, you ain't never catching a pass against me, every wideout is giving you their. Why would you say that? Like, Avexys can say it, though. Avexys.
He can.
He's like, granted, he won the 1v tournament last split. TJ just won it. I mean, TJ.
He just won it.
TJ went nuts. I don't know if you caught any of that. He went absolutely nutty, buddy, to win that 1v tournament. Avexys, though, he's won a 1v tournament. He's put on montages. He's a TCA partner. My man has been at the forefront of wanting to be the best player, basically the face of Gears since he got on the scene way back when with Fire and Ice and Gears 4. The second we started learning about Avexys, we knew one thing about him. If you gave him a power weapon like a sniper or a long shot, bad news bears for you, baby. You might look. Tune into Channel 12 because you're going to find yourself on somebody's highlight reel. I'm telling you that. You're going to make the news. He going to make you famous.
Hey, well, Aimboot, I'm telling you, man, that man was serious. So I think they're happy, honestly, with Canals. Like, let's go for round 2 in Pro League and see what you really could bring to the table with Avexys. So I want to shake your head all you want. I want to see the rematch. But that's map 5. We got a lot to get through. Now, let's get into it. Let's get into it. Predictions. And I'm going to cut to the chase.
All right.
I'm going with RushieZ here. And the reason why Fury 1 showed me a lot when they beat Rebel, but I also don't feel like Fury 1 is still that elite to the point where they can beat a team such as RushieZ if RushieZ is playing consistent. So I got to go with RushieZ. Colin, what about you?
This was a tough one for me to pick.
I said
it was RushieZ. It's RushieZ. I'm going to pick RushieZ. I'm going to pick RushieZ. Fury 1, incredible team, great teamwork. They're very good at playing up onto their opponents, making them really second guess what their aggression is going to be, how aggressive they're going to be. They keep the pedal to the metal. They go 160 miles an hour, unless, of course, they're going around in turn, in which case they go 155.5 miles an hour. RushieZ, on the other hand, they love a team like that. I mean, take a look at what INZEM has been able to do against teams like Casa de Papel, against Hyde. He says, you want to take this 1v as fast as you can? Go on ahead, brother. I'll just backhand you 2 or 3 times in this 1v, and there's not a thing you can do about it. So for me, I think that's what's going to be well in their favor. RushieZ's ability to control people's aggressions.
They do it well. And that teamwork, again, is really what does it for me, brother. So, chat. Fury 1, are we going with RushieZ? I think we've been on the same page all night tonight. No surprises, nothing crazy taking place like, Tuesday, Wednesday of last week. And we're going to be RushieZ across the board. Makes sense. I'm going to ask the same question. For those who went with Fury 1, why did you go with Fury 1? Genuine question. I want to know.
Stop asking. Have you met Gears kids? Rubik's made me a graphic. He made me a graphic. And I'll never like cherish a graphic that somebody made me more, where it was like a Gears kid's thought process. It was like, I have it's 0% damage, and it's just somebody up-Aing a corner, and then it's like, I'm 50% damage, and it's somebody up-Aing a corner, and I'm one shot, like I'm 4-pointed, up-Aing the corner. It's like, and then like the final picture was like a guy in like the bar exam, like, will I become a lawyer? And what he writes down was up-Aing it out. Like, that's all he wrote out. So that's why when you're like, why did you do this? I'm like, don't ask them. They're going to tell you that they up-Aing really well. They're super good at up-Aing.
Because you're like, talking about Gears kids, first thought that comes to my mind actually is Blaze. Because Blaze, the reason why, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I'm not questioning his gun skill or his history, but because he's the vibe master. So all of a sudden he's like, you've got, let's just say this. Like, for example, one team is undefeated. Haven't lost yet. They're incredible. There's no beating them. And Blaze is like looking at the 9th seed. And he's like, you know what? My gut is telling me this team's got it today, okay? So he just goes a full sentence. And I feel like for the large majority of people out there, who do see these, matches, they're like, and I really do think last week truly justified a lot of people.
You gotta tell them like Jacob says, all right? You can't trust these pros with your picks. You can't trust them. Jacob says they don't respect my predictions. They don't.
I think last week like really justified a lot of picks. Because again, they're like Team Queso versus RushieZ. RushieZ is the dominant pick. But I really want to go with Team Queso this time around. And then they win. And they cash out like 6-1. And they're like, whoa, I could do this again. So they keep doing it. But channel points and predictions aside, I really want to know. I really want to know. But hey, let's get into it. Map number 1, it's about to be underway, and it's going to be on Regency. So I'm excited for this because I have seen Fury 1 play Regency quite well in the past against multiple other rosters. I don't think it's going to be any different here. One thing that RushieZ does, though, kind of like what Pittsburgh Knights did off the start before, is they have explosive starts, right? They normally start off very hot and heavy, and I'm curious if they're going to do that here, and if Fury 1's going to be able to adjust accordingly.
I think what you're going to look from RushieZ is if they can get an early kill or an early set of wipes to get into that first hill. I do not expect RushieZ to play back into the spawn. I expect them to play defense probably 2 to 3 times before sending somebody into that next hill. I also would not be shocked with how well RushieZ has played this map at times before. If they go for the M-bar off rip, they're extraordinarily talented with it with a couple of different players. They don't want to give it up for free, and it only gives them an extra advantage. So if you see a couple of early kills, don't be surprised if RushieZ goes to the M-bar.
Here we go. Rush is going to be the first one inside the hill. We talked about it in Split 3. He's been playing out of this world. Avexys, though, now forced to be the hero, and he's going to put himself between a rock and a hard place. He's going to die off. Colin, 4 down, and M-bar going to go to the way of F1.
Once again, we see M-bar being picked up by Ventry, and I said if they could heat up, him or DeTox, if they could heat up, they could really give their team a good advantage. Toxiq is the down on RushieZ as RushieZ tries to push in. There's the fragmentation grenade to get the finishing kill. Now Last is going to try to finish off another player here at the close respawn for P2, but there it is, a good bounce in from Avexys, gets the win to the bottom side of that hill, excuse me. Now Ventry's actually pressured off onto the opposite side of the map. He's going to use a nerdy little angle here through the big open space. Those couple of windows and that door. He gets a shot onto Avexys. That is a huge kill. And now that will settle in the offense from RushieZ. And now it looks like Fury 1's going to rotate across the bottom middle and try to get the close respawn for P2.
P2 going to be well underway very shortly, and RushieZ, they kind of got to just defend. I mean, because at this point, Fury 1, they've got a good foothold, at least, not only the point lead, but also of spawn control, and it can be difficult at times to eliminate the players inside. I mean, but if you throw a nade like that from Toxiq's perspective, you take down too early on, then you just roll up on RushieZ, Ventry chance to take them down. But look at this spawn, though, from RushieZ. They're now immediately going to be able to just go up the steps. You got player 6 already inside the hill. That was, in a way, a blessed spawn from RushieZ's perspective.
And they're looking to try to continue to use that blessing to their advantage. They're going to get that kill on the Last. They're in the hill. They've got 2 players in the middle now to have to worry about. You see 1 player looking to try to rotate through the middle of the map. That's Ventry. Ventry with 4 kills, no deaths to his name. He's going to rotate out for a new shot grenade. Good little play by him. He's going to get Lancered out. They're going to know that he's out there. Even if they didn't have to read that the shot grenade was picked up, they're going to know that he pushed his position out there. 1 more shot with the M-bar. Now they're going to Lancer him out. He goes down. They leave 2 players to play defense at the hill in order to 2v1 Ventry for his shot grenade and possibly his last shot with the M-bar. Here comes the flank from RushieZ. DeTox takes 1. He tries to bait out the up A from the second. Full red doesn't get the secondary shot on. Avexys is going to push all the way out. Big body shot there. Not able to finish the kill, but it looks like he has a teammate in RushieZ that will.
Still got some members from Fury 1 that's going to be inside the current hill. Plus, you got Aimboot picking up Aimboot, picking up the fresh M-bar. Ventry inside, one guy that you obviously player to watch here. 6-1, a phenomenal start from his perspective, and that nets them a 30 or so point lead. We'll see a bit of a scuffle for this current hill, but ultimately it's just going to be for scrap time. The new hill's going to be coming into play relatively soon. INZEM will win the final engagement. The rotation is in, and it's going to be Fury 1 taking the top side, taking priority of spawn control.
Going into this next position, this next hill, RushieZ needs to have a really good secondary defensive setup here. They didn't get as many points as they probably would have liked to off P2. They need to start finding some different angles, some different motivation here, because with another M-bar in favor of Aimboot, Lancer Fire is going to be there, but Flash is going to come out. They got a full red there, but beautiful nades secondarily as well. Fury 1 is off to the races against RushieZ yet again. What a good turn of events for Fury 1 here in map 1.
Perfect. Flawless. I mean, really flawless. Now, will they keep the same energy throughout the map? Maybe so. But this is literally the most perfect start Fury 1 could have asked for. Now, for RushieZ, They'll find a way to fight back, I'm sure of it, but they're definitely taking their time doing so. Fury1 will apex the 100-point mark. RushieZ will be just on the bottom end of those split steps, but they're going to push up eventually, and here they come. I believe a shock is thrown. Aimboot, though, is going to be just fine in his current positioning. He's going to rotate around to try and get some shots on the Vex. He's just up. Aimboot's down. Toxiq back for revenge, and Fury1 will hold on again to another defensive or offensive push from RushieZ. And Colin, normally you calculate the pushes. Are you calculating today how many pushes have taken place and how many teams have won?
There's been 7 team fights thus far. There's a lot of action going back and forth because neither team is trying to give up their angle. But Fury1 to me, if I had to kind of score it like a boxing judge, I'm giving out of the 7. It's 5 right now in favor of Fury1. Only really 2 going in favor of RushieZ.
Gonna be enough. Fury1 firing on all cylinders. Oh, nice shot, though. Seeing the pixel of last move. Avexys will eliminate him. Next hill is going to be in play relatively soon, and maybe a chance for the first time RushieZ to get some much-needed points, close this deficit before it gets out of control. Nice shot.
The shot in from Avexys with a headshot there. 70 points left on this one. Could get him to the 100-point marker if they were to bleed it dry, but they're already getting it neutralized out. That's going to be Aimboot. It's going to get double shot on it, taken down. Now the rotation from last is in. Couldn't get the revive off. Avexys still using the snub. To the best of his ability, he goes down as well. Another team fight. Won by Fury1.
Jeez, man. Fury1 is just so good at the moment. I mean, just so incredibly good. They're winning every single fight that we see them get into. Loving the angle from Aimboot. He will get pressed, but last will press back. He'll take down one. Gets a nice shot onto Avexys. Not going to be enough. RushieZ once again finding real estate inside the hill, but not for long. Fury1 going to be there to contest. Avexys, he'll drop for just a moment. A lot of explosions, a lot of body pieces around. RushieZ will get the trade. Now it's going to be a 1v1 momentarily against Ventry. You got last move is going to be just up ahead. RushieZ trying to hold his ground as long as possible. Meanwhile, some more RushieZ members will join into the mix. Last move down. Ventry can't get the pickup, so now it's going to be all up to his lonesome. He's going to end up falling, and RushieZ once again controlling the hill. They get the ball rolling slowly but surely. 30 seconds. RushieZ will be happy to take all of that.
RushieZ looking to continue to hold on to those last few points as they rotate over as well. 2v2 here. Both down, both killed off. RushieZ with a good rotation into this next hill. They need to continue this roll because one of the things that's been worrying to me is how easy it's been for Fury1 to get a couple of kills, a couple of slays, and just get right back into this. I mean, it seems like it's been no sweat off their brow, sweat off their back to be able to get these kills and get back the momentum. Here we go with 3 players from Fury1 pushing into the bottom side of that hill. RushieZ has to rotate over quickly if they want to try to have a chance to fight back into it.
Nice shots from Avexys from the top end. He'll get the cleanup on the last move. Back away. Smoke is down. No one marked, but fortunately, RushieZ inside the hill. He's going to be able to call out the numbers effectively. DeTox is going to back away, but pushes Aimboot straight into one RushieZ member to get the kill and the cleanup. Ventry falls, and RushieZ can now start the catch-up. I think now they've got their feeding beneath them, Colin. And I do believe this is where we start seeing a turning point. Not for Fury1 to slow down per se, but for RushieZ to kind of catch up and play at the level F1's been at.
Well, RushieZ has got to have a couple of good defensive stands to be able to get enough points back in their favor in order to try to fight back into this one. Embar revving up, missed out there by DeTox. He's going to go down. He's got a teammate right there with him. But a double kill from Aimboot. And I mean, we thought that RushieZ was starting to find their feet, and it seems like they're just continuing to play with their food. I hate this kind of look out of RushieZ. It tells me that it doesn't seem like they're taking them seriously. No way should DeTox be sitting there Embar revving in somebody's face just to go down.
Yeah, and he was also trying the no-scope as well. But, I mean, Fury1, like you said, I really thought RushieZ was going to be coming back into that. But Fury1, they've got great control. Look at the team fire. I mean, immediately lancering in onto INZEM. He can't feel too comfortable. He's fully backing up. And that's going to be his first down and out, or maybe even be the second. I mean, he is all the way pushed back. What I thought was going to be a great hill from RushieZ turns out to be a fantastic hill from Fury1, not only offensively, but also defensively. And they're already right back, ready to challenge the fresh hill.
They're already pushing across to the next hill. They've already got a player playing toward that close respawn. Gonna get taken out here. RushieZ with 2 players playing back to try to fight back into this. Down by about 90-point differential. INZEM's gonna pressure in, get shot on from Toxiq, and Toxiq is gonna be forced to rotate out. Looks like Aimboot is in the area for the new Embar. He's waiting at the backside of the T-table. 3 players in front of him. Few moments left before that respawns. There it is. It's going to be picked up, and now Aimboot will have it, pushing back in with the rest of his teammates from Fury 1. Two players are going to go through the middle hallway section. They're going to go for the push onto DeTox and Avexys.
Avexys backing away, sees last move, and might see Ventry. I think Ventry was marked, so last move is going to be seen. So he knows two are going to be pressuring up onto him, but either way, he's forced to back away. Nice shot from Aimboot onto DeTox. He get picked back up, but only momentarily. INZEM doing everything in his power to try and clutch up in the moment. He won't be able to, and it looks like Fury 1 will have real estate inside the current hill. RushieZ, though, to their credit, will have close respawn, so they'll be able to push back and contest relatively shortly, but it is going to be a 4v4, and already one player down from RushieZ's perspective. Avexys, great shots, good first, and nice follow-up on the second. Aimboot will pepper Avexys up and end up dropping him. Nimbar is going to fly past, and INZEM will drop, and Fury 1 will win yet another team fight, call-it.
Beautiful job. Fury 1 continuing to pressure a lot of the fights that maybe RushieZ is just not as comfortable taking right now on Regency. Getting kills after kills. They are continuing to keep players staggered in respawn so that nobody can kind of take a team fight here. It's a one or two guys. They're never allowing a full four-man pushback from RushieZ, and every time RushieZ has defense, it seems like Fury 1 has the perfect offensive combination to push back into him.
Really impressed with the way that Fury 1 continues to play. I mean, hold their ground, most importantly. Aimboot refusing to allow RushieZ to pass up those steps. I mean, at this point in time, RushieZ, though, will flank around. The meat show making things awkward. Aimboot will fall. We're back to P1, and once again, Fury 1 having an M-bar in their possession. Don't see too much of effect with it, but regardless, last move forced to put it away. He will fight inside the hill with Ventry. Last move gone now, Ventry getting lancered out, and this will be a RushieZ hill. Maybe the second set of rotations will be what RushieZ needed to get their head back in the game.
They're going to need it again. I think that's the third time you've said that this map, is that RushieZ is continuing to look to get their head back in the game, and I'm like, at some point, they've got to either put up or shut up, because they are not proving to me that they have what it takes just yet. Down by 80 points yet again. Fury 1 playing through the close respawn side of the map for P2. One player's going to get called out behind him. They're going to have a damage advantage onto RushieZ. RushieZ was going for a big flank, gets called out. Now they're trying to look across this hill. Good little hold here, getting it within 60-point differential. Now 2v1 here to the backside of the Rose Garden. DeTox is going to go down. That's a big kill. Two players from RushieZ pressured out a 1v2 over on the left-hand side and gave up the hill for 20 more points to maybe go in Fury 1's favor. RushieZ yet again on another big flank here. Will RushieZ get shot on by Ventry enough to make it pressured him out? Actually, look at it. It's kind of like it's follow the leader over there on the right side of the map. Now DeTox has a flank on Ventry.
Yeah, I was watching that, and I was like, Ventry, you've got to attack. You've got to be on the move. But how is he going to know he's going to get reflanked? It's a situation you don't account for. But Ventry had a chance to make a move there, and I get why he held off. If DeTox isn't there for the reflank, I think Ventry makes a big impact in that play for the rotation. But with Fresh Hill in play, 60 seconds remaining onto it, Fury 1 is forced to attack from the low end of things. You got Aimboot trying to work his way, but he's getting flanked too. The positioning from RushieZ is genuinely working out at the moment, and Fury 1 is going to be very difficult for them to break up the hill, but last move does get a connection on the RushieZ. One less player you have to deal with.
Now you see them pressuring against DeTox. DeTox bounces out of that cover for just long enough to get that down. Now looking for a secondary shot. He's going to get double shot and downed at the front of the side of the hill. Avexys pushes up, looking to find one of his own, but he only finds the down. No chunk comes out. RushieZ puts himself in the fray and gets taken out. And now INZEM, 4 up, 4 down. Close respawn over to Fury 1. They're right back in control of the hill. And with plenty of time really left on it to get to 250 to 260, it's going to make it that much harder pushing into that next position. DeTox looking to try to pick up this new M-bar and get out of here scot-free. One player has already pre-rotated. That's going to be Ventry. He has to worry about the full 4-man retake from RushieZ.
I like it. Ventry once again trying to be sneaky. Surely he gets seen, but he'll take down one to the grave. That's going to be enough, at least to kind of help a bit. Now you got last move, who's going to try and take his place inside the current hill. DeTox, a great shot on the Toxiq. It really was. Aimboot doing everything in his power to take down Avexys. He will not find success. Last move, who took over the hill after Ventry ended up dying, fighting for his life. He's not going to find any success, so RushieZ will have the early advantage and get the early points on the current hill. And still a chance for them to catch up. Again, I'm going to say it probably the 4th time, but we'll see at this point, because Fury 1, their retake ability has genuinely been that good that I don't know. I don't know.
It's been impressive all map long. I'm sorry, Taylor, but I love you. I'm about to sneeze.
Okay.
Sorry about that, brother. I had to get that one out. I mean, that thing was stinging inside of my nose. I said, what in the hell going on in hell? Now we get that sneeze out of the way. Now it looks like Fury 1's going to push in. Beautiful job by DeTox, making sure they finish off the kill, not allowing the Wolfpack to be too overwhelming there. 3 players still alive, though, for Fury 1 to push back into this situation. Plenty of time for them to keep fighting over, trying to get over the top of this point differential. DeTox gets a big body shot there for the closeout. 3 players from Fury 1 stacked up yet again. The Wolfpack is there. Revives are big for them to deal with, but it is a beautiful defensive hold by RushieZ and DeTox that keep them in favor of point 3, and as well, maybe even rotating into point 4 a little early to try to catch back up.
All right, Rise, they're back in it, guys. 233 to 254. It took a long time to get here. I mean, it really did. And I know a lot of fans were quite nervous based off their performance, but DeTox, he's going to bleed this hill dry, Colin, and get the scoreline as close as humanly possible. He will be kept in check for maybe the flanker going through mid by Aimboot, so he's going to have to get through him, but that could potentially open up he gets through him, so now that opens up the door for him now to get that added lane, but by the time he gets there, this fight might be all but over with. Avexys hitting the shot that he needed to hit. You got Toxiq also putting in work, and Ventry putting out a ton of damage. DeTox is now joined into the fight. A ton of damage from him, but not any finishes coming his way, and now it looks like Fury 1 might actually be able to take over this hill.
Fury 1 needs another set of slays here. They got to be able to get pretty succinct control. There's the first down. Team revives are in. You got a 3rd player in now, going on the flank. Flashes are out. Here comes another flash in from Fury 1. Lancer pulled back out by Aimboot. Fighting over this M-bar is very tricky. It looks like they're going to continue to try to make some chaos. Rise, though, they need 2 kills here. They're 1 down. They can get the other down. They get the new M-bar as well, and they have changed the lead with 38 points to go.
Oh, man, things just got really fun, didn't it? And just enough points for them to win off of this one, so they got to hold on tight. They really do, but DeTox has already died off. INZEM's about to get pressured. Misses 2 M-bar shots. He'll come back with the Nasher. 1v2, but not going to get either one. So now RushieZ, he knows the company is going to be joining him relatively soon. He has to help with Avexys, but Avexys gets pincered in between 4 of the Fury 1 players. Now RushieZ trying to stay alive. He's not going to be able to. And 18 seconds remain here. Fury 1, they can choose to bleed this hill dry if they want. DeTox hiding in the shadows, tries to get the best of Aimboot, but Aimboot is going to get the best of him.
We're going to try to get another kill here. Ventry over the top of that cover gets 1. Now Ventry needs to pressure out toward RushieZ, but RushieZ frag grenade for protection. Will be able to back up into the hill. He's going to have a 3v1 over the initial portion of this hill. 22 seconds to go for Rise. 30 for Fury 1. Last is going to get called out at the top of the map. Lancer out with a teammate. Beautiful job getting the team fire to go. A down and a bleed out is so very important. They are in the hill. Rise is basically down to 1 retake attempt. 1 chance to get back into this hill to try to get this stoppage going. Players setting up here for the retake. DeTox is going to get Lancered out. He's going to be pressured back into the middle of the map. He's going to go down. The other 3 players have to be able to find a breakthrough. Here they come up the short side of the stairs. They get the neutralization. Playing through the backside. Here comes the flash to go for the stop. Avexys last alive in the hill. He goes down. Fury 1 win map 1. And they are on their way to another upset. Is Rise going to get upset by 2 8 seeds back to back, Taylor?
Colin, honestly, anything at this point is possible. Split 3 has just been so incredible in terms of upsets, and honestly, so close in competitive nature. A couple of teams being the outliers, but I mean, what a performance from Fury 1. And it's not so much that Rise dropped the ball on that map. It is genuinely Fury 1 playing to perfection. And I know, Colin, you broke down the team fights and you have a count on that. I know you're going to say that in just a second, but I mean, the way that Fury 1 played as a team was so impactful and so special. They really made that happen. I mean, that was flawless gameplay from Fury 1, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I really love the fact that Fury 1 took every opportunity to take team fights around the map. They basically said, look, if it's a 2v2 or a 3v2, we fly at it. We make sure we get back into that position. We make sure that we get back into that next fight. Let's see, just here in these replays, you'll see a bunch of good flank angles, a bunch of good shots by players. Ventry that M bar early was definitively good for them. I scored it as Fury 1 having 7 more team fight victories. As close as it was down the stretch, that's the important thing, is that RushieZ were finding these little 1v kills, these little rotational kills where people were getting staggered from Fury 1 around the map so that Fury 1 couldn't get those team retakes, couldn't get those team fights that they were very, very good at getting every single one under their belt. And then, of course, it comes down to a team fight in which Fury 1 gets back-to-back wins on. That's just incredible for them.
And I'm going to bring up a couple of points. The first point being how impressive it is that Fury 1 closes out this map. We saw RushieZ coming back quite well. And with other splits, when you talk about teams in the caliber, Fury 1 is at and being in 8th place, being the 8th seed and everything, it was common to watch them, play exceedingly well and to have the lead for the large majority. But where they started to taper off was the final moments of the maps, whether that be Escalation, whether that be Execution, or in this case, Control. When RushieZ started to come back and they retook that point lead, you had, at least in my mind, Colin, I favored RushieZ to close out the map. I really did, because a team like RushieZ at their caliber, E United KCP, when they do come back like that and they take the point lead in the final moments, like obviously it was here, I thought RushieZ was going to close it, and Fury 1 were going to kind of lay down and die, regardless of how well they play. Because you could play well 99% of the time. It's that 1% that really wins you the map. But Fury 1 saw RushieZ come back. They looked at that and said, fine, we're going to the next hill and we're going to win the fight. We still have confidence. And they do. And they win 300-278. So that's key one, or point one, that I really like. Now, another point, you were wisely asked, Colin, who's the key player matchup? DeTox versus Ventry. DeTox has the lowest KD in the entire lobby, and he also has the least amount of damage done in the, second least, behind that of Last Move, who had 17,063. Ventry, on the other hand, had 19,000 damage done, so he was, I want to say, 5th in the lobby. But either way, Ventry, in key moments, Colin, was picking up incredible plays and big plays that put his team in the lead. So Ventry really was that X factor, that difference maker, because everybody else, Last Move, Aimboot, and Toxiq, did exactly what they needed to do.
That's what I was talking about, though. If those guys heat up, the rest of their team just instantly gets better. They go up one more notch. I love DeTox a lot as a human. Every interaction I've had with Ant has been incredible. He's always been super nice to me. So I hate to say it this way, but I got to call him out. The pointless death going for the hipfire M bars early in that map on a rotation cost them. It cost them an early rotation. It cost them more points in the next hill. Those are things you can't let happen. I need to see better out of you, DeTox. I want to see you play at that next level. I want to see you continue to strive to give your best every time out of spawn. Later in that map, we kept seeing DeTox kind of rotating late into fights. I wasn't sure if the call was for him to Lancer, try to help get downs, but I don't think that's his specialty. That's not going to help you get those wins. You got to take the chains off a guy like that. Really let DeTox get loose. Let that man be free. You don't need to cage him up. He's a lion. He'll feast on a gazelle if you just let him run free in the Sahara, my man. Let him do what he does best. Let him do his thing. Get loose with a guy like Avexys through the middle of that map on Regency, and a lot of those fights might go differently. Coming into Clocktower, I'm worried because Fury 1 was better in team fights and better at utility usage. They had more stuns. They had better smokes. They had much better percentage of utility use, where if they stunned somebody, they died. It wasn't like they stunned him and then that person got to come unstunned and fight back. It was instantaneous almost. It was somebody put their hand in front of their face. It was time to go. It was time to come back off a respawn. Execution with one life to live, you got to be exquisite at that play style, and you've got to be very precise with your movements, or you're going to find yourself looking at your 3 teammates like, I'm sorry, I'll do better next round, because that's literally all you can say in a lot of those spots.
So 2 things. When you look at Regency from Fury 1's perspective, that's actually the first time they played it in Pro League in general, side station or not. So well done from them, first and foremost, to see that map for the first time. Obviously, they know it. They've been scrimming it. You don't win that on accident. So, but at least from the public perspective, the public-facing perspective, they face RushieZ on a map that they have proven success on Regency, and they play it for the first time and they beat them. So that's a great victory. I do think Checkout, though, is going to be a different story. And I like your points. I think Fury 1, they did show
Clocktower's map too.
Shoot, man. Let me rewire this narrative. Give me just a second.
I got you, baby. I got you. I'm right here with you.
I do think
you can. Well, my gears might be turning. My gears might be a little rusty, and they might turn a little slow.
Bro, I had a whole narrative.
But I'm right
to
here.
check out.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Bro, I was ready to talk about checkout left and right, dude. All right, so I got you.
All right,
quick pivot, baby.
Hit me with
Clocktower. All right.
Okay.
You know, not the best of performance.
Not the best.
Not the best of Call it. Not the best of performances from RushieZ on Clocktower. Really not, to be honest. I think, the only time they played was against Team Queso, who ultimately ended up beating them in the series, and they lost 3-6. And we saw it represented how good Team Queso really is on Clocktower just a little bit earlier in their first matchup against Kansas City Pioneers. Whereas on Clocktower for Fury 1, they do have experience. They beat Rebel there in that round 11. You were casting over that, so I'm sure you're going to have some insight as to what makes them so special on that map. They lost to E United 1-6. But the interesting one to me is they beat KCP, or they didn't beat KCP. They lost to KCP. I apologize, but 5-6, 5-6. I'm sorry. I'm trying.
No, you're good. I'm trying to follow you, man. I'm right there. I'm just
point that I'm getting at.
Main step. Take
Fury 1 actually has more proven for Split 3. They have more proven success on Clocktower than that of RushieZ, and more history as well. So I change it all. I think Fury 1 actually might be all right on map 2.
So you're going to change your prediction?
Well, my prediction was for checkout, which is not being played. So I'm
now, but you're going Fury 1 in your overall prediction.
Oh, no. I think RushieZ, they have the... How many times have we seen RushieZ down 2-0 in a series and come back?
So tonight you have said,
I'm not worried.
Drop Crystallize. Fury 1's better than RushieZ.
Did not say that.
What else has Taylor come out with tonight?
Did not say that. Didn't say any of that.
I could have heard you say, I could have sworn I heard you say, drop Crystallize. I could have sworn you did.
Yeah, no, that was you. Actually, weirdly enough, Colin. That's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Gaslight me all you want. All I'm saying, Colin. All I'm saying.
Lights were out. How did you see me?
I'm not worried about RushieZ in the series, brother. Bottom line, I'm not worried about RushieZ.
You just set up a whole narrative that Fury 1 has had more success on Clocktower. So you're giving him a 2-0 lead. So RushieZ is going to come back 3 maps in a row. Got it, Taylor. I'm right there with you, baby. I'm working with you.
All right, we're out here. That's just the way it is. We out here. Let's head into map number 2, Clocktower, baby. Let's head into map 2, Clocktower.
All right,
and it's gonna be a fun one. It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of wanted to ask you again. You watched that Rebel series. Why did they have success against Rebel on Clocktower, if you remember?
The most success that they had against Rebel was honestly the fact that Rebel was kind of playing more forward across the middle of the map. They were putting themselves more in the open where RushieZ was able to get extra damage, get that damage advantage, and then take advantage of it. RushieZ needs to do a good job of letting Fury 1 play to their aggression, play into the strength of Fury 1's offense, which is allow them to be able to get these early kills. Let's see what they do here as a big down comes through from INZEM. They allow Fury 1 to play very aggressively early. They get an initial kill, and it is now 4-3. Good job there.
All right, Fury 1 now, down a man. Let's see how they respond and react. Looks like they're actually going to make a full aggressive push and potentially get away with the sniper. That was beautifully executed, and I got to say, it took a lot of cojones from Aimboot, but he made it happen. Well done from his perspective. Then the aggression will not stop. Aimboot refuses to put away the sniper. It is going to be a 3v3, and in a way, they do have RushieZ on the run, and Aimboot's going to connect. Now you got Avexys last alive, round 1. Round one still going. Yo, Avexys might clutch this. Avexys might actually clutch this. Who you gotta think is gonna be better in this case? Avexys or Toxiq now that we have a stalemate?
Oh, we'll see what Avexys is gonna do as he pulls back for that new torque. Oh, I like that. My man said, hey, I'm gonna pick this thing up 5 bolts and a quiver to be able to use, and Avexys now with the torque in hand. Toxiq will have a flash to be able to use. 30 seconds to go. Avexys is just trotting along the map trying to get... Oh! Hey! Yo! Too easy.
Dude. Hey,
simple.
Well, I don't know if it was simple.
Simple.
All right? That's another esport when we start, talk about whatever, but brother.
No shot.
Avexys.
I love
just
you.
1v3, easy, bro. So first nade kill, then he gets the chunk, and then he gets a torque bow. Avexys is very well rounded in that.
This is why I said that, because I'm not gonna lie to you. I've literally been on, I've been behind Avexys at a LAN event where He gets a three-piece, and he stands up, and he's like, easy. It's so easy. I'm like, what?
As he's full red, 99%, and he just barely clutches. That was easy, bro. Like, okay. Toxiq, once again, sniper in hand. RushieZ on a bit of a flank here. This round going, if you want to say a round was easy, this round was easy.
That's a frustration round from Fury 1. Fury 1 died in that first round. They started to get the advantage back, and then Avexys gets a 3v1. You see Fury 1 just say, all right, we're gonna play up. We're gonna play Indy. Let's see if you can deal with this. And RushieZ was like, deal with what? And then the round was over. Excuse me, come again? Excuse me, what'd you say, sir? This is a Wendy's drive-thru? Did you get that Frosty, by the way?
Yeah. Can I get a Blizzard, please? I'm at Wendy's. Like, yo, can you hook me up with a Blizzard? Sure, I got you. No problem. Anyways, RushieZ in a big battle down low. Watch out, though. Last move thought, okay, maybe I can go up these stairs. Not going to happen. The communication's too on point for RushieZ's perspective, and they'll get the cleanup. Toxiq might not get away, and neither will Aimboot. He's dead. Ventry last alive. He'll take one to the grave, but his luck will end there. And RushieZ will lead 3-0.
Real talk, RushieZ is doing a fantastic job getting very quick rounds in succession here. They were able to come over the top of that loss, and really, I mean, they're, for lack of a better phrase, Taylor, they are dunking on them on map 2 right now. These boys are taking them to task.
They kind of are, I'm going to be honest. And really, what set the pace, and you brought it up best, was Avexys at 1v3. Now it's Fury 1 having to regain, and they haven't regained. But most importantly, RushieZ is also an emotional team, and they just got more emotional in terms of positivity. So they're really feeling themselves. RushieZ once again on the flank. Aimboot sees him, I think, just in the last second, but I think I don't know if he saw him per se, but either way, 3v2. Trying to lock it in. He's going to miss that shot to the left of INZEM. Toxiq and Aimboot now are going to go ahead and back away. Best play that they could possibly make.
Looking for an extra play here as Aimboot's going to go across the bottom side of the map. He's going to get angled out by 2 players. He's down. Now he's out. One more player to deal with all the way off into the spawn. It's going to be Toxiq. Toxiq will get shot on early. 3 players in front of him. Hits that first L trigger, and now he's going to have to worry about them continuing to rotate into a Lancer lane. They get the down. Not going to play with him. They want to make this one quick, simple, and easy. They want to go up 4-0 and maybe even shut it down 5-0, 6-0, whatever it may be.
Might be 6-0 at this rate. Fury 1 not gaining any ground, and that is with them getting their hands on the sniper and even at times getting first blood. But RushieZ, since that big clutch from Avexys 1v3 round 1, they haven't looked back since, and they don't seem to be struggling. And RushieZ is pretty much fought for nades, not fought for nades, because Fury 1's not trying to capitalize off of that or even counter him, but he's basically flanked every single round. Other than this round, it is going to be a 4v4 up top. RushieZ this time is just going to take the fight immediately straight in. He's going to clean up on one, get cleaned up himself. 3v3. INZEM's aggression, though, will pay off, getting another one. Nice shots on the Toxiq, but it won't be enough. Avexys has to connect. He will. And now 1v2 as Ventry is sit running.
It looks like Ventry's going to have to go to the bottom side of the map. He's 2v1'd in this situation as Avexys and DeTox are in front of him. Hit some snub shots onto DeTox. Tries to bounce up into him. Beautiful team fire there. I love that angle where they're both about the same down and distance away from him to be able to hit those 2 Nasher shots for the quick, simple down. And that's just how you settle things out. 1 round away now. I mean, RushieZ, they needed that 3-minute break, baby. They said, let's just get this over with.
Pretty much. RushieZ 8-3, 2 first bloods, 1 revive. Truly been the MVP for this map, despite that 1v3. I think RushieZ has had just a bigger impact in terms of his, flanks and just overall ability to just get up close and personal. I mean, his aggression has been a wonder to behold for sure. INZEM might actually do his best RushieZ impression to push up, but here we go. Fury 1 going in for the sniper, and RushieZ is going to take advantage of this and take the fight to them. Unfortunately, Fury 1 is going to lose 1 player off the rip. Last move, though, looking to make some moves himself. It's going to be a 2v2. Quickly traded out. Aimboot last alive. And he's running away, but he does have the sniper. 1 good connection will bring this back down to a 1v1, and maybe he wants it against Avexys again.
Looking for another big play here from 1 player from Fury 1. It's going to be Aimboot this time, who will pick up the torque bow. He's Supermaning right now? My man has got torque bow long shot. My man is Superman.
Well, I'm here for it. Why not? Honestly.
What's the worst that
Why
can
not?
happen?
They close the gap.
Well, I was gonna say they lose the round and lose 6-0, but I mean, you know, in his mind, he's like,
yeah,
"Bro, maybe I get 2 picks. Let's get it. Let's go."
I'm thinking worst case for him is they close the gap in the Nasher, and then what do you have? You know, you just gotta throw a Hail Mary out there. Avexys and INZEM might actually.
We got all day. No, Rise is like, we got all day. We got all day to wait for this overtime.
Okay.
Oh my God, that's brilliant. That is so funny that's his plan of action.
Something tells me he's got this round.
No. I'm sorry.
Colin.
This is not it. This ain't
Something
it.
tells me.
There are things that are it and things that are not it. This is not
Something
it.
tells me Aimboot is going to win this round. Like, okay. I don't know if this was the play, but this might be the play. This is... All right. Okay. Okay, shoot the shot.
I am so shocked. I am so incredibly bewildered by what I just witnessed. I
Shoot
never
the
saw it
shot!
coming.
Shoot it! Shoot it!
Your faith was unshakable in him to win that round. My faith was unshakable that we were going to get this thing all tied up at 1-1 Rise.
Why did he
They win
shoot
at
it?
6-0. Map 3 is going to... Wait, Fury 1 won the map. Come on now, baby. Work that out for me. 1-1, map 3 right after this. Here we go.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Gears Pro League Split 3, Day 7. I'm Taylor Reflections Double, joined by Colin the Crow Clark, Rise Fury 1, deadlocked 1-1 in the series. My question I have for you, why didn't he shoot the shot?
Because the voice of God is one shot. That's why. That's why he didn't shoot the shot.
No. Why didn't he shoot the shot, bro? Like, what? Okay, let's take a step back. Why did he go up top?
Like, I'm gonna say this as nicely as possible. I don't know if you're the best spotter or the worst spotter, because you'd be like, shoot the shot, and he'd be like, you gave me no intel. You've given me no intel.
That's
like,
why shoot the shot? Hey, they're capping on your hill, bro. You revved it up 3 times. Just commit.
I'm so...
Like, it kills me. It really kills me.
Yo, my hair is not well done enough for tonight. I'll tell you that much. All right, my man. I've been... Oh, good gracious.
It destroys me to see him rev the torque bow 3 times. Meanwhile, Avexys and his partner is capping the hill, and he's just like, I can't do it. I can't.
This was him over the ledge. This was him.
What are you doing?
What in the hell?
Like if you lose 6-0, fine. But like if you shoot your shot, like, I'm like, cool.
Shot.
Like it's cool. Like you lost. What? It's a 1v2. It's like,
do you want me to throw the laptop for you?
Please, honestly, please do throw that laptop, dude, because I'm done. Like out of all things, it's just, bro. It kills me.
There it goes.
Thank you.
Oh, now.
For goodness sakes, bro. Like,
here, look.
Anyways.
I'll get my smart man glasses out too. Don't worry. Here we go.
Please do.
Shoot the shot. All right.
Shoot the shot.
Do it. Do what my man said.
Oh my
do.
gosh, bro. Like you play so well on Regency, and then it's I don't care about the 6-0. Just shoot the shots. Oh, after hearing his Supermaning too, it killed. I mean, and then why you go up top? Like you're down low, reposition for sure. Like, but like just stay down low and then, but you go up top and put. There's
only one sentence to describe what we just witnessed. Only one sentence. What happened was.
It kills me, dude. I don't know. I really don't know after that, but it's cool.
Who am I?
I don't know. I'm lost, bro. All right.
I'm Colin. Nice to meet you. I've been waiting to use that one on.
We're heading into map 3. Vasgar,
All right.
Escalation.
Okay. Yep. Here we are.
And I'm not even looking at the stat sheet because I butchered the checkout Clocktower discussion. I really did. So we're just going to see how this ends up unfolding. Now, what I can say confidently is, yes, Rusty Nailgun, he did shoot it after 3 revs anyways.
Yeah.
RushieZ plays Vasgar very well, Colin.
Yo,
very
Taylor,
well.
are you as one shot as the voice of God right now? Are both of you one shot?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty... I'm chunkable at this point, bro.
Yo, let's get it.
Just hit me with that last pellet.
My man is chunkable.
2 people broke me in life. You, Colin, and Aimboot.
Poor Aimboot. He joins
I love
the
the guy, I really do. All right. Here we go. But for real, though, RushieZ plays Vasgar very well. Like, that's just the moral of the story. Fury One's going to have to fight hard. They're going to have to come back to 6-0. You really are, Colin.
All right, look, hold on, Taylor. Just take a deep breath. Take a few deep breaths. I'll take it for you. RushieZ is going to get a good down there. Is going to push straight up into the A-hill, help out his teammates in this situation. They clean up the rest of those kills. All 4 players from RushieZ going home to home in this round number 1. Ventry's going to call out RushieZ, trying to get across the map. Would love to see the right player cards on the right side of their names, whereas right now everybody is flip-flop. Beautiful player profile pictures, though, for the side of Fury One. We'll get that switched over for you in just a matter of moments. Triple cap domination being settled up. 3 players from Fury One into the hill. Getting that neutralization. INZEM settles up with 1. Now gets a body shot onto a second. No chance for the revive. That will be a couple of kills in the A-hill. Back in favor thus far for Fury One. But now it's a 1v1. Avexys might be able to get this one to go. There's the chunk on the meat shield, but the melee comes through. RushieZ into the hill. It's going to be a triple gap domination being threatened yet again by RushieZ. Aimboot into the corner. He shoots his shot this time. Won't be able to get the neutralization needed. Just the touch is good for now. And that last goes down. This should be all she said and done. Is Toxiq going to get another touch just to keep the round going? No, he will not. RushieZ wins round 1. They're still on their way. That's 7 rounds in a row for him. 6-0 on map 2, 1-0 map 3.
Incredible performance from RushieZ in round 1. We lost a player from Fury One, unfortunately, but man, RushieZ is off to an incredible start. And Avexys hasn't died yet. So as we're at a little bit of a standstill, let's see how this ends up unfolding. But a 7 in a row. So RushieZ is off to, I mean, they're playing so well.
Are you still one shot? Like, I tried to take that whole round, brother.
No, I'm good. I'm good. I'm out here.
Good.
I'm out here. I'm out here. But it's just, we're here. And this is reality. 7 in a row. We lost a RushieZ member.
No!
I thought we lost a, no, we lost a Fury One member. What? We lost a lobby. What is going on?
What we saw in Gears 4 and Gears 5, the beauty of the Saren world is only going to be heightened by the addition of that new Unreal Engine. So, hype for that.
I'm hyped for it too. I need to go back and watch it. I saw bits and pieces. I was doing some other things today, but I mean, no, that's, and I did hear that, you know, like you said, that Gears character. So I'm all for it. And I really do hope the best and wish for the best, obviously, for the Gears franchise moving forward. So we're all here as a family, you know, and I genuinely want to be a part of this scene as long as I possibly can. Like, that's my goal. You know, I've genuinely fell in love with it. But looks like we have a live round finally, baby. We're in round number 2. RushieZ did win round 1. We saw that a bit earlier. Nice shots from Ventry. We'll take the head off of INZEM. Now he can focus on DeTox.
Looking like they're going to be able to push into this situation with RushieZ pulling back in a 2v1 a hill advantage for just a moment. DeTox is trying to get maybe a down here. Might need one more shot to land, but he's not going to be able to get that first down. It's going to be a 2v2 here at the tank. Big back A out, but DeTox gets hit with a huge shot. Down there onto Ventry. INZEM was not going to be able to finish that kill, though. Meanwhile, the Sea Hill has been decapped, and this is an interesting situation, because what do you do if you're Fury One? Do you try to pressure the 2v1 toward the A-hill, or do you try to go back to your home hill? Because right now, RushieZ is going to have the 2-to-1 hill advantage. They're going to be able to play defense in this situation.
I guess the big thing is it's still very early on, so you do have options and you can take your time. There's no reason to get a bit overzealous, but you're right. When a decision is made, what do you do? And it's going to be a 3v3 fight for the C Hill. And they'll get a light touch, but I mean, RushieZ with the Boltok is doing a ton of damage. And unfortunately for Toxiq, he's kind of in no man's land. I don't see him getting picked back up, but I mean, good on Aimboot to push as aggressively as he did. They try to make a move. It doesn't work. I respect the pressure, but now RushieZ, their decision has been made, and they're going to put pressure onto B while they leave player 6 behind. I don't think this round is going to end anytime soon, but I do know that it's going to come to a point where Fury 1 is going to have to go for pretty much a domination if they want to win.
Fury 1 is going to have to get a little aggressive, maybe a little over-aggressive if they want to get that W. As you can see, it's doubled up into the score point. They still have the 2-1 Hill advantage. They're going to cross that 200-point threshold in the next 15 to 20 seconds here. And you see INZEM just continuing to play back through the arrival side, through the luggage racks. And he's going to continue to rotate back. He'll be full red. He's hoping Avexys could get the help there with the Boltok, but not enough damage done. He only hits that first shot, and now you see all 3 players pushing in through the spawn point. They need to take their aggression on the opposite side of the map. You see a big kill by RushieZ onto player 4, Ventry.
Yeah, that's it.
That is absolutely huge because now that's going to allow DeTox to rotate all the way to C. RushieZ hits a headshot on the last, and now it's a 1v1 over B, and 2-1 Hill advantage will go back over to RushieZ in just a moment as C gets retaken. A is going to be in a 2v1. This is another RushieZ round. This is going to be 2-0 before you know it.
Yeah, definitely going to be 2-0. And if you count the execution from a little bit earlier on Clocktower, technically it is 8-0 in the way of RushieZ at the moment. So they are really taking this this game obviously by storm, and they are refusing to back down. So as we do get into round number 3, something has to change for Fury 1, and whether that's a power weapon or not, we'll have to see what that answer is going to be. But I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if we do see a sniper on tank.
I don't think we're going to see one that early. I think you'll see one more placement down, probably a retro placed out by Fury. If they go to the tank this early, that just tells me they've got it. They have, I don't want to say given up. Oh, they're going to go to the helicopter. Oh, go back to the tank. What are you going to do? Okay. I don't think they've given up because they're going to try to take this as a team fight, but they got 6-0'd in execution on Clocktower, which is basically just a big team fight. It's just a big fight over that long shot in the backside of the map, round after round. So this is going to be tough sledding for them. This is going to get real dicey real quickly.
Definitely will be. 4v3 fight onto B. Player 4 Ventry is going to be by himself, and he's going to try and go for the flank. Now, worst case scenario, by the time he gets all the way around, RushieZ finishes off this team fight that quickly. But he does make it, and now he is going to have a bit of an impact, but he's already being kept in check, and Sniper's going to be picked up. Ventry is going to be on the run, and RushieZ is going to have a distinct advantage. Lots of real estate on the map, Colin. Ventry will take a short jaunt over towards C, but again, that standoff is in. Cross map of X, he's looking to go for a connection, and RushieZ is very shortly about to be on all 3 hills.
RushieZ looking for yet another early triple cap domination, or at least the pressure is there from them. You can see where they're going to try to hold off the wave of aggression onto the home hill, but with the sniper rifle in Avexys' hands,
Round 2. RushieZ will get a chunk in his own way, and Fury 1 will extend the round, and Avexys missing what I thought was going to be an easy connection, but fair enough. RushieZ still in a great spot to be in, and Fury 1, I'm sure they're happy that that snipe was missed, so now they can push out. Gonna see INZEM flex a bit of the talent, but only a couple of shots will be sent. Aimboot will be hit with a body shot, not only with the sniper, but also the Boltok, and last move will now test his luck potentially to pressure into Avexys. Utility out, he actually only hits himself, and Avexys is going to be able to take him down. RushieZ hasn't lost control since the beginning. They're not losing control now. They continue to pressure up.
Continuing to look for that next position to take advantage of somebody out of position. Or Fury 1. Oh, doubling up the scoreline yet again. Aimboot with a new Boltok there. Shot on. Ventry misses the first shot, and RushieZ turns around for the easy kill there. Snub shots out from DeTox. He's going to be full red. Avexys gets one on the reaction and then cleans up the down. Triple cap domination ensuing. That'll be 3-0 in favor of RushieZ.
3-0 in favor of RushieZ. Just going to stop counting the previous Clocktower, but it's still a dominant performance, obviously, from the RushieZ men, and RushieZ and Avexys both with 1 death apiece. They've been valuing their life. obviously when you do place a power weapon on the map, in this case in round 2 for Fury 1, you do fall behind on your own utility items on this side, right? So Boltok is there, and I'm sure they'll build that up to a retro, but they're still going to be behind a shock. And at this point, you're going to have a retro. Well, they might even just forget that and just go wild with the center lines. And honestly, I'm not against that because nothing is working at this point. So now you've got an M-bar and you have a sniper. RushieZ last round when sniper was placed, they committed 4 strong, where on the other side, Fury 1, they committed 3, sent Ventry with the Boltok through mid. This time around, RushieZ is going to break up 2-2, and so is Fury 1.
Aimboot will throw that smoke out toward the sniper and M-bar area. He's going to be able to look here, pick for the M-bar. He's going to go down. Quick little shot out from Avexys, getting the finish onto him. I believe the M-bar should be down for somebody to be able to pick back up RushieZ. They're going to win that fight quite easily, quite succinctly. They're going to get the revive off as well and the M-bar in their favor. 2v2 over at the B hill. Will be negotiated in time, but I believe RushieZ is just going to go for the 2-1 advantage, or at least decap that home hill of Fury 1. Avexys with the M-bar on his back, helping out with some damaging shots there, peppering up Aimboot. Second player coming off of respawn. There's the down. Cleanup comes through from RushieZ, and now Avexys and Rushie have control over Fury 1's home hill. 2v2 at the tank fight. It's going to break out now. Ventry tries to bounce in. It's stunned out. Back A there will be good, but not enough for really to pressure that player. Now it's a 3v1. The Fury 1 is added. Yet another player over here. Can they find any kills? One player slides into DeTox. RushieZ with the retro from behind. Wasn't able to get that kill. That's going to be 2 down and out for RushieZ.
Well, Fury 1 did put a lot of emphasis on controlling B, Colin, and obviously winning the sniper, going to Aimboot's possession, but they still need the objective, and they're going to have to work extra hard to get that. Quick sprint over towards C. He's going to put them in a 3v2, but Avexys with the M-bar, I mean, he gets a nice body shot. Aimboot is going to have to pump the brakes for the time being, but it is a bit of a, nice shot. So now it's a bit evened up now. No, it's still not. RushieZ now has the man advantage, actually, in a 3v2. And player 8, RushieZ, is sneaking over towards B. He's actually going to be on that hill, forcing last move of the fight. Fury 1 needs to be very careful right now because they can lose this round very quickly, even quicker than, obviously, RushieZ getting to 250.
Yeah, they're looking to try to get the chance here as they shoot in. RushieZ will bounce down and get the down over the top of the cover on to last, but 2-1 hill advantage still in favor of RushieZ. I mean, Fury 1 has not been able to pressure A at all. DeTox with a roadie strafe there gets 1. He's going to be full red, gets downed out from the players coming back from the first half home hill. Aimboot with a big headshot onto Avexys might open up the lane over to A hill. Up over 200 points in 19 seconds and counting. RushieZ, they have to just D up 1 hill here. They want to try to get a victory and go up 4-0 in map 3.
Exactly what they're going to do, and Fury 1 understands where they're currently at. 25 seconds, Colin, is a bit of time to work with. DeTox might be able to slip through. Aimboot is going to be in an engagement. This is sniper away. Meanwhile, on the top of the hill, this actually might end it right here, right now. Toxiq will be able to get a touch, but either way, for added insurance, DeTox does win his engagements against Aimboot. He'll be on the B hill. 1 hill is all they need, and he'll get that full cap and not be challenged. Another round going to the way of RushieZ, and they will be leading 4-0 in map 3.
RushieZ 1 round away from a 2-1 map count lead, and we'll be looking to settle it down in that next round very shortly as RushieZ, I mean, they are rolling now in this matchup. All the wind has seemingly come out of the sails of Fury 1 after a very hard-fought, very close map number 1. It seems like RushieZ has just never looked back.
Not at all. Not at all. RushieZ at this point, you know, they're just feeling good. Again, emotional-based team. You give them the confidence to 6-0 you and play as well as they did. I mean, they haven't looked the same, honestly, since Avexys hit that 1v3. And once that 1v3 was hit, I mean, RushieZ said, we got this. Like, we got it in the bank. And that's the momentum you can carry forward. Little moments like that, or really, not a little moment, excuse me, 1v3 is never little. A big moment like that can absolutely give you the wind in the sails you need to sail the sea. So, Ventry is going to be looking at 2 players from RushieZ, moving up to the top of the stairs. And RushieZ just on the opposite end. Ventry is doing everything in his power to win one. He does. And now INZEM is going to be opposite of him, and that'll be a trade. As in my opinion, that's a great fight from Ventry's perspective. He wins the 1v2 technically. And he also has his buddy rotate over with Aimboot and Toxiq, and Sniper's going to be on that side of the map.
You're just constantly looking for a fight that you can maybe take advantage of if you're Fury 1 right now, because you have yet to really dominate any sector. So that's why you're looking for these extra fights. Aimboot just looking across the middle of the map. He's inside of that crater with the long shot. Shot out, won't be able to find anybody. DeTox with the M-bar in hand, looking for the extra rotation. Won't be able to get the shot around that cubby. He's going to go down. Quick little revive is out. Now looking for a player to get a headshot on maybe. That could be one down coming through. Beautiful job there. DeTox isn't able to find that one. And now he's got to go for the save here. Gets the revive. They get the kill as well.
Nice jobs. The kill does come through. And at this point, Fury 1, they're not down by much, Colin. Oh, nice shot. Hold up. Last move can now move through. Maybe and a nice chunk. Yo, Fury 1 is going to be able to retake F. They were only down 20 or so points. Maybe this is going to give them the momentum they need to finally win a round and truly stop the bleeding. Avexys now in a 1v1 opposite of Ventry. He's going to get pincered in between last move. He will fall in this moment. And look at player 5 on the opposite end. DeTox, he's in a 1v2, and he's going to at least win one of them, but not win the second. Fury 1 has regained control.
Fury 1 looking to continue to keep their control, make it 4-1, at least win one round at a time, because that's what you have to do. See, as Last will have a difficult job here, holding down this home hill against 3 players of RushieZ. They're going to try to rotate off of this one very quickly. Aimboot does have at least one more shot with the long shot. Hits a big spread there, but not going to get enough to get the down. Now Last is going to try his hand. He jumps up and gets the quick up A onto 1. Now he's going to go down. I believe that is Avexys directly in front of him. Toxiq inside of the F hill will continue to play and hold court there across the map. It will be, I believe, Aimboot just holding onto the M-bar and holding onto that E hill. This is going to have to be a quick retake by RushieZ. They're going to have to hold the 2-1 for probably 20 to 30 seconds if they want to get a victory here. They get the point counter back in their favor, but it's going to be a whole 30 seconds without giving up a hill decap here.
And the decap will officially go through, and to make matters worse for RushieZ at this point, Colin, RushieZ loses the 1v1 on the opposite end against Aimboot, so that gives less, intention for RushieZ, obviously, to win this round, which they'll lose in just about 20 or so seconds. Avexys will push up, he'll pick up 1. He's now going for a 1v3 once again. He's going to get the second. He'll double back. He stays alive. I can't believe what I'm seeing. And INZEM will pincer in Ventry, and Ventry will die off. INZEM gets that elimination, and RushieZ is going for a domination. Fury 1 at 242. Fury 1 will get a touch. They'll get a break. Avexys will double back, though. He's now going for his 4th elimination. INZEM, though, will pick up a second. Toxiq will now die off here, and it is over with, ladies and gentlemen. RushieZ will win round number 5 to 5-0 Fury 1 and take a 2-1 lead.
Unfathomable turnaround. You could have played Benny Hill in those final few moments with the way it felt like. I mean, they just could not find their footing. Fury 1, no matter how good they were, all the way up into the final 5 to 10 seconds of that round, were in complete control, really. They must have had everything in their favor, only for RushieZ to get every single kill around the map, force them back onto their own home hill, win a 1v at the E hill, and then, of course, finish things off with 3 more kills off of the respawn. Just what a turn of events. What a final few moments for RushieZ in that last round.
Great performance from RushieZ, and it just comes to show you how stingy they are. And I use that in a good term because RushieZ was up 4-0. You know, they had already won 6-0 on Clocktower. What's the harm in letting one round go? RushieZ won that round. As far as I'm convinced, Colin, they won that round because they want to make a statement here in this series. They want to beat Fury 1 as badly as they possibly can. And letting one round slip through is just simply not going to cut it for RushieZ. They won that last round because they want to make a statement, and they did make that statement.
They did make a statement thus far. It would have been a better statement, a more emphatic statement if they had won Regency as well. So we look at this map 4 now. Do they close this out 3-1? Do we have kind of repeat of our main stage matches with 3-1, 3-1, 3-1? The big difference for me is RushieZ has done so well at staggering out the deaths on that escalation of Fury 1 that they have a good chance to do it here in map number 3. The most important part is remembering that in control, you keep control of those close respawns, you stagger out those deaths, and you do not allow them to really get a good advantage in any way, shape, form, or fashion by keeping players from doing full 4-man pushes.
At this point for Fury 1, Colin, it's going to take a lot to get their head back in the game, and I thought it was going to take a lot after a 6-0, but now you've lost 11 straight rounds, right? 6 rounds from Clocktower, 5 straight rounds here on Escalation. And in this Escalation, in 2 of those rounds, truthfully were lost because Avexys popped off, right? That one round number 1 on Clocktower, Avexys wins a 1v3 and definitively wins that by himself. In that very last round where Fury 1 is just on the cusp of winning, 244, 248, or whatever it was, you have Avexys once again making a miracle play, picking up 3, going for the 4th. INZEM obviously gets it. So INZEM was right there at the, in the last portions of it. But I mean, it was Avexys who derailed that round. So he derails the first round of Clocktower. He absolutely derails Fury 1 finally getting a round win. Avexys has quite honestly put the final nail in the coffin as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, without a doubt, he's playing the pallbearer role. He has put the coffins together round after round to really just kind of push somebody into. All they got to do is execute with the other 3 players on that squad, DeTox, RushieZ, and INZEM. And I think one of the things that can't be understated is what that kind of momentum shift gives to you and a confidence boost, really. The ability to kind of get an incredible set of kills early for Avexys gives everybody else that same confidence. Like, we can do that too. Right. We can get that too. And then, of course, maybe even if Avexys is just playing well around you, if he's getting damage on, if you realize that he's getting downs, it makes you play one step better. It makes you play up onto your opponent a little bit more. You know that they're feeling a pressure, so they're going to probably roll back. It's those little domino effect things that make Avexys a very special IGL, a very special player in this league, because he's one of those few players in our history that give you that kind of confidence. I mean, very few other guys, you feel their presence around you, not just as another player, but as he's a leader. He's somebody I can look to get the next kill, to push up into the next position, to make things happen at every single turn.
And he's just making it. Again, Avexys, I'm telling you, this split is going to be a good split from him. This next major is going to be fantastic from his perspective, because he genuinely wants a championship, not only for himself, but also obviously for RushieZ. And we're seeing the effects of that. And tonight, I mean, he is just on fire. Matter of fact, by the way, in execution, he only died once. I'm looking at that. And then looking at the stats from, that last Vasgar, he only died 6 times. So, I mean, he's only died 7 times in the past 10 or 11 rounds. That's truly remarkable as far as I'm concerned.
Do you have his damage pulled up? What was his damage in the execution? I know it only went 6 rounds.
For execution?
Yeah, for his execution. I know it only went 6 rounds, and he gets a 3-piece. So
8,900.
Okay.
8,900.
So almost 9K damage across a 6-round beatdown with you having a 3-piece, which you look at, that's an instantaneous 1,800 damage, getting 3 kills at 600 HP a player.
Yep.
Just incredible numbers out of Avexys in this matchup tonight against Fury 1. I mean,
impeccable.
Without a doubt. I helped you out with the Clocktower call outside of the checkout. What is map 4 again? What's the other control map?
Map 4 is going to be on District. So you're going to a map that RushieZ is very comfortable on. But something tells me Fury... Yeah, they are. But something tells me, and I'm just going to double check before I say it. District, So, okay. Fury 1 is a decent team on District. Now, they have beat Hive, 300 to 160, but they also suffered a very narrow loss to Team Queso, and that was a fantastic comeback. That was, when I talk about comebacks on Control from Team Queso's perspective, Colin, that is one of those maps that Team Queso, came back where they were down it was 294 or something, and they were down 204, and they came back and they won 300-294. But the point stands, comeback or not, Fury 1 does play District very well. My concern, and I think everybody's concern at this point, has to be what mindset is Fury 1 in? You've lost 11 straight rounds in a row. Avexys has kind of been dismantling you piece by piece. You just lost a round. There's RushieZ popping up. So again, even more so now, what is Fury 1's mindset like? And I really think they're mentally defeated at this point.
You got to feel deflated. I mean, there's no 2 ways about it. I love that revive into the up A, turn on the player trying to hop the cover and get that next kill. Impeccable movement by RushieZ right there to help solidify this first little hill in their favor. Already 20 points on the board. With, oh my goodness, another 30 to go. They're getting flanked out here, and that's really the only hope for Fury 1 is to have players on all sides to box them in, damage him out, and then try to take advantage of him.
Yeah, but I mean, again, RushieZ, even with their movement, you can see like they're just filling. They have the utmost confidence, and there's no reason why they shouldn't. Ventry does spot a drop shot, and he's going to pick it up. So good on him for having that. That's going to be great for setting up for the next fight. And last will win a good engagement against INZEM, piece by piece. You know, engagement by engagement, small win for small win. Fury 1 needs those, and that's going to, you know, hopefully consistently build them up to the point where they say, okay, we got this, and you know, it's a fresh start, we're down, but we can, if we force him at 5, we'll be quite all right. RushieZ trying to lock in spawns in the back end, and he is going to get challenged relatively soon. It could be a 1v3, but he will drop, and here's Ventry with the drop shot. He's held on to it, and he's going to send it flying, and he will get a kill on DeTox.
Looking for the next play in. Ventry's going to bounce down with that flash out in front of him. Avexys over the top of that cover, looking for the back A's. Won't be able to get that first one, but gets the second up A onto the kill. Ventry trades out with him, though. 60 seconds left on this hill to be able to get some points back into his favor. Only down 12 points now. Sees what they can do with Last getting that first kill, trying to flank out on INZEM. There's another kill on to Last. They're going to Lancer him off. A shock will be in, and that'll be just a few more moments in favor of Fury 1 before that shock goes away.
Target my mark!
All right, DeTox, he's got a good angle here, but he needs his teammates to capitalize. But all you have is INZEM, and Fury 1 knows this. They're going to try and push out and really take the fight to them. Meanwhile, over in Cinema, round 2 from P1, we'll see an engagement go down, and Last Move will win that fight. So a very competitive start. I really like this. Love that Fury 1's getting their head back in the game. And when we talk about, you know, the only map that they've won in this series, it was Control, and Fury 1 is back where they feel comfortable at. Avexys will pick up that drop shot. He's going to get away. There's no way you're going to be able to chase him down, but you can at least kill RushieZ.
Gonna go for that kill there in the middle of the map. You see Toxiq bouncing down and getting that down and then finishing off RushieZ in the middle of the map. They get him to just bleed out. 3 players, now 4 players from Fury 1 moving in toward that ATM side of the hill. This is gonna be a 3v1 onto DeTox. DeTox is gonna be angled out down here, and I mean, that is just incredibly hard for anybody to escape from. Drop shot out by Avexys on a reaction shot. Oh, baby, that was beautiful.
Beautiful indeed. INZEM also falls, and Fury 1 again keeping up with that newfound life, it seems. And Toxiq will be inside the hill. He doesn't know there's a RushieZ player right there. RushieZ hiding in the shadows. We talk about him always being that sneaky player. Great representation just right there in front of you, but overall, RushieZ will fall. Right, still some work needing to be done. DeTox trying to be the tip of the spear here, but a little bit of a bait and switch, and a lot of RushieZ member presence on the outside, but Fury 1 not budging 1 inch.
Fury 1 continuing to try to fight back into this and continue to maintain their lead. They're up 40 points at this juncture and are looking to continue to keep that going as well. Another kill coming through. Fury 1 very proficient at Control. I mean, you would almost call them Control specialists at this given point in time. Here goes Avexys, though, inside of the info. You might wait for somebody to try to push up into here because that next hill is down at the bottom middle of the map. They need a good hold, a good solidified hold if they want to be able to keep or get back into this one. Not keep it in their favor, but get back into it. DeTox jumps up for just a moment. Flash is going to go out toward him. Avexys tries to bounce off of that cover and get a shot onto Aimboot, but will go down to the up A. And now you see Aimboot move out to the middle of the map. They get the call on to INZEM, and INZEM will be angled out from both forward and backward at 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock, both being under conjunction.
All right, big presence in mid is going to be Fury 1. The last player you got to get through on RushieZ's perspective is going to be RushieZ. Last move, thinking his lucky stars. He finds the correct pixel to stay alive. Avexys, once again, almost looking like a hero, and in fact, he kind of will be. He puts enough damage out there, and INZEM gets to clean up, and that presence from Fury 1 that was so present in mid, Colin, is now gone. Like INZEM, Avexys absolutely dismantled that setup. And good on RushieZ for doing so because they had fallen quite a bit. They were down a lot in points. And this is one of those hills that is normally hotly contested, obviously, off of the original rotation, but very often is the very last hill that is going to be played out. So for RushieZ to have such a good performance on this very hill could very well indicate how they're going to end this game.
Looking to try to get back into this. I mean, they're trying to get a positional advantage over this hill, get back as close as they can point-wise as well. As we know, each hill is 70 points. Then getting it down to that 30-40 marker really keeps you into these fights. That player inside of the info goes down. RushieZ goes for the melee, won't be able to find it. And Now you see extra players getting shots on, just all the damage being put out, but it looks like RushieZ will once again come away with a victory of their own in that matchup.
And RushieZ has caught up tremendously. They were down 56, 57 to 121, and now they're within striking distance, less than 30 points away from catching up to F1. So Fury 1, keep that composure, keep that momentum up, because you were playing incredible at the beginning, and they still are. I mean, they have the lead after all. A couple of great kills, though, will come into the form of RushieZ, and last move will be forced to back away. Not really any safe spots he can go to, aside from just being on the outside looking in. Good shot onto DeTox. He'll get the drop, and it's simply not going to be enough, but you got to appreciate the effort.
Looking for another set of slays here. RushieZ is already inside of the Bergola. 2 players playing through Juice and right outside of the Rose Garden. Now you see in that back cinema spawn, that is Avexys. He has the 90 degree. Anybody that tries to come through the front door will get shot on very quickly. See what they able to do here, and that's going to be big shots on Toxiq. Will get the down inside of the Juice. Everybody flies into that building and gets the first down. Avexys trying to hold on to his life. Will throw a flashbang there, but now all 4 players from Fury 1 will pressure toward that Pergola hill. A lot of time has been taken up from it. Only 2 players left to play defense, DeTox and INZEM. They throw a shock at the one side of the stairwell. 3 downs and outs on INZEM. DeTox gets killed as well. Good retake, but they did lose the momentum. They did lose the lead for just a moment.
Yeah, I mean, they're still in a great spot. They truly are, and I love the fact that they do come back. There was multiple times RushieZ would challenge Fury 1's lead, challenge the amount of points they had, and ultimately got very close to winning on Regency, but Fury 1 was unwavering. They didn't back down. They showed great composure, and I really respected that from this F1 roster, and I'm respecting it here now as well. They took a beating on 2 maps back-to-back. They've even, RushieZ at one point came back tremendously within just, 30 points, less than 30 points away from F1, but Fury 1 doesn't worry about that. They come back, they play their game, and they're confident when it comes to control. All eyes on Toxiq. He's got the fresh drop shot. He's got to make a decision when to use it. He's going to be loaded up and maybe to take down RushieZ zip, and RushieZ rolls away, but not far enough, and now you can pressure into the hill. The last one you got to get through is going to be INZEM.
Down onto Toxiq. Toxiq is trying to crawl around. They're going to go for the revive, but he's going to go down as well. Big kills there at the bottom side of the hill. It looks like INZEM will be able to push back into that hill and collect points while lancering a down. Absolutely picture perfect. He's just gonna kick him. Just kick. Oh no, he turns him into a meat shield. I like that. Hey, shout out one time.
There's going to be 40 seconds left on the hill. Fury 1 did a good job trying to retake it. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. And I love the refresh, by the way, from DeTox. DeTox sees his teammate get taken down from that neutral window position. But as soon as he goes, DeTox is right there. And because his Lancer Fire is obviously in effect, it helps and assists INZEM get the cleanups when he was applying the pressure onto Aimboot and whoever else from Fury 1 was challenging the last hill. Good win from Toxiq, but it's not enough. This is the first time, Colin, we'll see RushieZ take not a definitive lead, but this much of a lead.
RushieZ is looking for the Lancer damage down to the bottom side of the map onto Aimboot. They're going to get 1 down onto him. You see them continuing to snub and Lancer out, just trying to add in damage, make players uncomfortable as they push back toward this side of the map. And you see DeTox even pressuring up. Now, Aimboot does have the drop on his back, and he has to push back to go for a revive. Gets that one off. Snub in hand. INZEM will get tagged up, but now he's running into 2 more players. RushieZ have tried to have these players trapped like rats back here. A kill comes in for RushieZ, and now they chased him out to bridge spawn to make sure he couldn't use drop. They were like, you go pick that power weapon? No, you ain't.
Yeah.
No, you ain't.
I love that, though. You got to have that pressure, don't you, Colin? Like, you can't give any advantage over to any other roster. It doesn't matter how confident you feel. Take that away from them and really just impin your will. This shock is going to be nasty. Fury 1 has no choice but to attack through mid or just outlast that shock. Meanwhile, RushieZ, he's in a full-fledged fight against Aimboot on the opposite corner. He's going to get stunned up, forced to back away. Aimboot will get a couple of tags, but RushieZ will get the final laugh. And now all eyes once again back onto the current hill in play. Toxiq moves forward. Toxiq going to be down. DeTox, the tip of the spear here, locking it down with his teammates. Of course, INZEM being right there. Whether it's INZEM with the Avexys, INZEM with DeTox, INZEM is just a great partner to have.
I mean, INZEM, like I said, he's really found a way to be a very pivotal player, whether it be offensively or defensively. He knows how to play around his opponents so well that it makes him an incredible team player. INZEM needing one more big shot. He couldn't get the chunk, only gets the down there. Now looking forward, you'll see Avexys trying to get that back A. Won't be able to get it. 20 seconds left on this hill. And flash over the top. RushieZ trying to go in for another down of his own. Maybe even a chunk of his own. Won't be able to get it. And it looks like quickly in this one, RushieZ will start to renegotiate their position through the bottom side of the map. It'll be Aimboot trying to play defense as well, as he is already down there inside of the bandstand.
Nice job. Good trigger discipline. Aimboot hiding in the shadows. He'll pick up that fresh shot for his efforts. He sees Avexys in the corner. He's going to go ahead and go for this challenge. He will stand his ground. 10 toes down, brother. Lancer versus Lancer. He'll get the best of Avexys in that moment. Plus, drop shot's going to go to the way of Toxiq. Plus, Avexys and INZEM. They're going to be out and now on the respawn screen. Fury 1, they're catching up with the Vengeance, and I don't see them slowing down. I do expect them to be tied once this hill is done with.
Yeah, trying to just get this, trying to keep themselves in it. They don't want to allow RushieZ to do yet another just overwhelming set of points like they did in that map 1, because that came down very close, and RushieZ has been on the tear since that map 1 ended. So if you give them too much momentum going into the final few hills, I mean, they're going to be more than happy to try to take a victory here and go 3-1 up in this matchup. Another kills coming through, though. Love the fact that Fury 1 lights up the kill feed. RushieZ on the flank, gets one. RushieZ trying to stay alive here. Up A misses, but he has enough damage with the snub to get the kill, thanks to INZEM's help. Now that's 2v1 to the backside of this hill. Last is going to get double shot on, taken down. 20 points remaining, gets it to 240, 250 if they were to hold on to the entirety of it.
Still relatively even, though, but RushieZ does recover quite well. And big fight between RushieZ and Toxiq. He'll get the best of them. He's leaving them bleed out. Meanwhile, RushieZ obviously could be getting points, but he's not that concerned about it, clearly. 237 to 218. We have Avexys set up for the next hill. Fury 1 not too far away, however. And 5 and 6 can make the biggest impact in the moment. It's going to be Aimboot, excuse me, and Toxiq as they push in. Got a lot of members to get through, but they do. I mean, RushieZ, they were so one-sided on what was taking place outside the hill. They forgot about inside the hill, and now they have to recover and double back.
Now looking for a shot here with DeTox picking up the meat shield. They're going to continue to add in that damage, but RushieZ just flies across the middle of the map. Gets that down. Now they need to find where the next set of rotations comes from. One player up inside of the info. Two players playing through the bottom side of the map at the bandstand. And at point number 5. This will be Avexys' ability, though, to sit in the juice and wait for them to go for the pick on the drop shot and then maybe Lancer that player out. There he is. He's going to get the shots onto Aimboot. Aimboot gets away with a little bit of health left, but Avexys has 3 players around him. Back A out, double bounce in. Won't be able to get that next one. Bounces back to that same cover. Good defensive job by Avexys to get that first down. He's going to get that finish as well. And now Last will get Lancer down from the 90-degree angle. He's going to go down. Avexys will have a second player dead in that hill, and this has been a big hill for RushieZ. They can, as a matter of fact, RushieZ can win it right here, Taylor.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. And Fury 1 knows this better than anybody, Colin. They've got to just sprint across the map. And DeTox will be the one to try and stop them at the one. Oh, I love this spot from Avexys. He's going to get caught from behind, though, and Avexys will die off. But just mere points away, 300 to 218 is where the series will end as RushieZ will finally beat Fury 1 in a fashion of 3-1. But don't say it wasn't a remarkable series for a number of different reasons.
It was indeed very well played in map 1 by Fury 1. They took RushieZ to task with a big lead when they jumped out on him. RushieZ couldn't overcome it. They go down in map 1, but RushieZ for 3 straight maps, pretty dominant. And even though they faltered early in that district, it was really incredible to watch RushieZ kind of roll back through the middle side of that map, that middle section of the map, start to Lancer, start to snub, start to add teamfire damaging shots and really allowing those kills to come much easier, allowing their teammates much easier fights around the map. Just picture perfect for them and their fan base if that's what they were looking forward to.
Avexys has to be the guy that stole the show, though, without question. Granted, INZEM was right there with them, and that's why I say INZEM was a phenomenal teammate in this regards. RushieZ had plenty of great plays, and DeTox did step it up multiple times as the maps did progress in the series. But, I mean, Avexys was just so nasty tonight, Colin. The plays he made, and again, single-handedly derailing not only that Clocktower with the 1v3, but also that map or that round number 5 on Vasgar Escalation where Fury 1 had it in the back.
And also, I really, when you see Avexys' highlight reels on a lot of these different plays in District, also take note in how many times Avexys in that map just plopped himself down and was willing to basically wait out a player going for a pick on a power weapon or a player rotating around the map and then poking his head out to add damage and then get that damage in for his teammates, giving them a decisive advantage over whoever may have picked up that power weapon. Those are the things that not only make Avexys a dangerous, 1v player or a highlight reel, it just makes him dangerous in the fact that he can always find a way to help teammates, whether it be through his pure skill, his gun skill, or his knowledge of understanding of when the power weapons are coming up and when people are rotating around the map, or waiting for somebody to put themselves in a bad spot.
Overall, just well played from RushieZ's perspective. But I mean, again, I want to highlight Fury 1. Do they take a couple of L's? Without question. They lost 11 rounds in a row. Clocktower 6-0, Vasgar 5-0. But their control is nasty. And Fury 1, you can hang your hat on that without question. Quite honestly, I would be terrified to play them on any control. It seems at this point in time, but execution, escalation might need a little bit of work. But overall, good series, I think, as a whole. And Fury 1, keep your heads up. I think you guys are going to be just fine. You beat Rebel for a reason. You took a map off of Rise for a reason. I still genuinely think the competition is as close as it's ever been here in Split 3 in terms of series going the distance or teams taking maps off of certain teams and their ability to just have that composure to close out certain maps and maybe even series. So I think overall for tonight, huge success. I'm pretty impressed with it.
Really impressed with the way that these teams were at least able to take a map and make certain places competitive. Fury 1 needs to get much better at their execution, especially against a team like RushieZ. I mean, that if RushieZ is going to go into the major and be better at execution when we've kind of seen them formulate two different sets of identities where they were really good at execution or really good at escalation a few splits ago and were kind of hanging their hat on maybe winning the escalations and picking up other maps. And then they said, let's be the kings of control. And they went in at really good control players. And I want to see them kind of find a formula that works successfully for them. If winning executions and dominating executions is going to be the way to go, then by all means, be that way, be those guys, and put your best foot forward, especially going into what could be, well, I say what could be, but the next to last major for Gears Esports in this series.
Yeah, and it's coming quick, and I believe everybody really understands that, and they take that gravity, and they just want to make the most of it and truly put on the best performance. And speaking of best performance, we called it a bit early on, and it actually ended up getting selected. It's time for your eSwap X Pro Controller play of the day, and this guy stole my heart, brother. It was Raver. He goes on a 7 or 8 kill streak by the end of this clip.
The most impressive parts of these kills for me was how good Raver was at manipulating the fights. We're gonna replay it once. The thing that I want to show you, this team firefight right there, the most important kills in this entire clip are the first 3 in my book. So the big body shot, the roadie strafe to get missed, and then he hits that player up bang in the back for the chunk. Watch the shot here, over the top, full spread, double bounce in, gets that player right there trying to take that corner. Those kills set up every other kill you see in this clip. If it's not for the roadie strafe double kill, followed by the shot over the top, leading into the down and that third kill in the first part of this clip, you don't get the rest of this magic. You don't get the rest of this eSwap X Pro Controller play of the day had it not been for that first set of kills, that first triple kill that Raver was able to successfully garner for his team.
And remember, that was a really close map up until that point when Raver just started decimating the competition, and Pittsburgh Knights didn't look back from that point. And I mean, whether you look at Avexys making the moves he made tonight, as Cells popping off, of course, time in and time out with multiple 3 pieces, and then, of course, in that clip, Raver doing what he did. We had a lot of standout individuals here in day number 1, and a lot of standout matches in general, but no big surprises today. But let's at least look at our results, because we got to go through them, right? I mean, Pioneers, they went the distance with Team Queso 3-1. And talk about going the distance. Kasade Papel called, and that was one you called out as could potentially be an upset. We saw that map number 5. It ended up being not as close, right? 6-3 on Clocktower. Rebel, they get that victory. But little victories like that, hey, that gives you all the confidence you need. What else did we see today, Colin?
I think what I really loved was that map 5 we got to watch between Rebel and Casa de Papel, but Abuelos Jesus Nietos gets that one map against Pittsburgh Knights. Team Queso gets a map against Pioneers. Fury 1 gets a map against RushieZ. You called it out earlier. I'm going to echo that sentiment. Getting those maps gives you confidence going forward. It gives you the ability to maybe pick up a second map, maybe pick up more rounds, make things that much quicker, and maybe make things that much better. in the major when it has a chance for all the chips to be on the table. Still unbelievably impressed. E United has been on fire for about 10 days now.
Dude, E United's been on fire. And speaking of which, let's take a look at our standings. I do believe Pittsburgh Knights still going to be in first. And yes, they are. RushieZ neck and neck. However, they're in second place. KCP in third. And you mentioned E United being on fire. They're going to be in fourth. And of course, Rebel rounding out fifth place, which speaking of which, good on them. Really. Fifth place, great spot to be in. We talked about them, you know, having a bit of a lackluster performance last week, starting with Fury 1 beating them, but getting a victory against Casa de Papel tonight has to make them feel a little bit more confident, right? Even though that was to be expected. We go down the list, though. Abuelos y sus Nietos doing just fine. Team Queso, Fury 1. But Casa de Papel and Hive Calling, those are the two teams I'm looking for to step up. They really have to. They have no choice. Relegation could be facing them shortly.
Without a doubt, Hive and Abuelos y sus Nietos really need to step it up, and they got to have incredible performances in the major not to get relegated. So I want to see those guys round into the picture-perfect form of those two squadrons if we want to see them back in this league.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and look at our matches for tomorrow. It's going to be pretty fun. We're getting towards the tail end. I believe we have one more week left after this week, but Fury 1, Casa de Papel. Going to love to see that one mentioned, right? Two teams trying to avoid relegation. Fury 1, not necessarily one of them, but could be one of them if they lose against Casa de Papel. RushieZ E United. Colin, let me just stop there for a second, and I want you to talk about that for a little bit.
RushieZ versus E United is going to be a big matchup because RushieZ and E United have traded blows thus far in this split of Pro League across E-Days, across Pro League. They've gone back and forth. E United had the stumbles early, but now they have a chance to kind of get themselves into contention for that first, second place, up into the top, the upper echelon of our Pro League. If they can get a win over RushieZ, RushieZ has to find a way to fend off E United if they want to stay at the top of our Pro League standings. That matchup is a heavyweight showcase of two of our best teams, 8 of our best players. You better be here tomorrow night to witness that one. You better not be anywhere else watching anything else because RushieZ has to defend what is their top dog spot. They have to go forward and beat an incredibly on fire, an incredibly momentous team right now in E United.
And Team Queso and Hive, that's going to be a fun one. Hive has still not got a win, and they only have a handful of map wins in general, but maybe they can strike against Team Queso. We'll see if they'll be able to do so. And then all Latin America to finish off the night. Pittsburgh Knights versus Rebel. You want to talk about personal, right? RushieZ United, that's personal too, okay? But PK and Rebel are personal in their own way.
Yeah, very doubt. It's an interregional matchup. Rebel always kind of looking to get that big brother syndrome off of the Pittsburgh Knights, away from them. Identives, the king himself on Rebel, looks to continue to hold on to his throne because, I mean, there's only so many times you could take an L to a team like the Knights before you lose that crown, even though you are the only player from that region to still hold a world title. It's one of those things where you can't just keep looking at yourself and being like, yeah, I'm still the best down here if you continuously hold those L's against a team like the Knights. So very personal, very incredibly very contentious matchup between the Knights and Rebel.
And also, just because, like you said, it's contentious, both are from the same region, I do expect to see the absolute best from Rebel. And that's going to be a fun one to really see what that roster can bring because they don't want to lose to Pittsburgh Knights.
No way, no how.
And they're going to play extra hard. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Tomorrow is going to be incredible. And I can't wait to see what Jacob and Blaze are going to bring with their commentary. But for us tonight, Colin, it was a great night. And I really enjoyed it, brother, truthfully. But all good things must come to an end. And Colin, this is one of them. What are your final words before we get out of here?
I would be remiss if I did not take my chance at final words to wish the one and the only Justin Kenny Bounce a very happy birthday.
Yeah.
Much love to you. I jokingly call you my dad. I love you to death. You know how much I love you. I texted him earlier and wished him a happy birthday. Very, very nice to see him living his best life. Very happy for him to see another trip around the sun. So happy birthday, Kenny.
Yep, still as young as ever, too. You know, still as young as ever, man.
Still better than
catching up.
Every single player on the planet.
But that's just the way it is, right? Hey, happy birthday, Kenny. I saw that actually. And it's just a beautiful day of Gears. Colin, once again, I appreciate you, brother. I love you, man. I really do. And chat, thank you so much for being here. As always, hit that follow button if you haven't already. Gears Pro League. You saw the schedule for tomorrow, 5 Eastern. We're starting. It's going to be a lot of fun. For myself, Taylor Reflections, Noble, Colin and Crow Clark, our production team, and you in chat, thank you once again for being here. Be back tomorrow. Gears Pro League, day number 8, 5 Eastern. We would love to have you again.